found that C is a structured language, and because of it being a structured language, you can see that you have to follow a particular grammar of it. So last time we had seen the basic structure. I'll discuss that again. And one more thing, we had taken one small, some small activity. That is, I had given some message to decode, and most of you could work it out on that, that it is decoding something. Now, in the process, you saw that if you had that particular rules, that A means one, B means two, like that. So if you have that idea, what does it mean? Then you can decode basically what is the message. Okay. So you require that plan, or if you require that particular message, that is, or the code as to how you are going to convert. The same thing is there with the C also. That is, when you are writing some particular program, or you are giving some instruction. Now, these instructions which you are giving in the C language. So you have to follow the grammar of that language, and that grammar is called as nothing but the syntax. Okay. So syntax is nothing but the grammar of C. Okay. So you have to follow the grammar of C, and if you follow that, then it will perform. So now, where this grammar, like how you have to follow. So all these definitions which are there as to how you have to decode a particular message or particular program, that is given in the header files. Okay. So header files. So header file, H-E-A-D-E, header file. So what is a header file? Header file, or it's not only one file, there are numerous such library of files which you will have to include depending on how you are writing program and what program or what instructions or what functions you are including in your program. So header files are those files which are there, which have got the definition of all the functions of which you are going to use in your program. So suppose if I am talking about the file called as stdio.h. So this we can separate it into three different parts. Std is nothing but standard. Okay. I is for input. O is for output. Yeah. So many students write studio like that. I wonder why that mistake should happen. If you are very sure about STD is for standard, I is for input, O is for output, dot H is nothing but the header file. Yeah. Just as you are using some files called as doc files in your DOCS or DOCX files in Word or XLS files or JPG files. So all files have extension like that. The header file is the file which has got an extension of H. Similarly, if you are writing some program in C, then that program will have an extension of C. Yeah, and this C is in smaller case. It is not in the uppercase. So it is very important to understand that extension of extension of any of the file or the program which you are writing in the C, it has to be in the name has to be given with an extension of C, and C is in a lower case. Okay. So this points you have to them. So just as we could decode the program, decode the message using that particular rules, like that header files have got the definitions, and using those definitions. Now these definitions have to be had before you are decoding something. Yeah? Before I give you the message, I should give you the rules. Similarly, if you have to include the header file, it should be before you start the processing. The processing by default in C language starts with the main function. And that is why it is very important that you include this header files before you start the processing. And that is what we term as a preprocessor directive. So hash is one of the preprocessor directives which asks that you have to include a particular header file. Okay. So this is about the header file. So let us see how the structure of C program is. Yeah. So the structure of C program is something like this. Students, just confirm whether what I'm writing is clearly visible to you. There is no flashlight or like that. It's clear or not. Please inform me on the.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah. So now when we start off, as I had discussed last time, again I'll repeat, you have got the structure of C to be followed when you are writing any C program. So how it is written? So initially you are writing some comment statement. You may or may not have a comment statement, but it is a good practice to have the comment statement for you yourself if you are visiting the program later on, or for somebody else who is visiting that program and trying to understand what you have tried to do through that program. Yeah. So the program structure is something like this. You can write a single line comment. Okay, you can write say like this is the program to print some message. Okay, so what you are doing that you will be writing over here. Okay, so if it is a single line, if it is going in one single line, you will be writing it with two forward slashes. And if the comment is going in the multiple lines, then in that case, like here you have got long comment. Like you can see when you open up some AutoCAD or Geo files, then in those files you will see that there are some descriptions about what that software patch is doing, and then what exactly, who is licensing it, which is the company which has designed it. So all those details might go into number of lines. So when it is number of lines where when your program's comment is going, then you have got multiple line comments in C written as forward slash asterisk. Then you have got a program comments, okay, and wherever it finishes, suppose it finishes over here, okay, and now here you want to write that this is the program, this is a program to display a default message on the default output device, that is VDU, and this program is done for CA1 batch of 5th B, year 21-22. Suppose something such message is there, then if it goes for more than one line, then you will have to include the multi-line comments in this way. Okay, so this is nothing but a single line comment. Okay, single line comment. And these are for multi-line comments. Okay. So multi-line comments goes in this way. Now these are non-executable type of statements, and so basically you may or may not have it. Okay, so having this comment statement is optional. So I'll just write simultaneously over here that this is nothing but optional. Now after this, your program starts with this. Okay, hash include, and then you have got the header files written in the less than and the greater than sign. Okay, there is one file which I said stdio.h. Okay, std standard input output header file. Like that, you may have numerous header files to be included. Like you may have math.h, you may have string.h, you may have conio.h. So as and when we take up, I will be telling you what all files you have to include. Yeah, which all header files you have to include. Right now, you can just make a note that you are certainly going to use, you are certainly going to include stdio.h, and it has to follow this format. That is, there has to be hash include, okay, less than, and in within less than and greater than sign, you will be writing stdio.h. Okay. Now, once this is written, then after this, you may write void main or int main. I will prefer writing void main. You are not returning anything, something like that. And you have got the pair of braces, the opening and closing braces, within which you will have the body of the program. So body of main. Okay. And main function. So main function means here always your processing starts with the main function. So void space main, and then you have got a pair of parentheses, and you have got a pair of braces within which you will have to write the instructions which you want to give to the C program. Now in your program you should always have one, and at least one and only one. Okay, at least one and only one main function. You cannot have more than one main function in your C program. Also, you have to have that one function. Okay, so here one and only one. Okay, one and only, and at least one main function has to be there in your C program. So now, like you have got some index. Na? When you open up the book, you are following a particular format. You have got some preface written, then you have got some index written, you have got some acknowledgement, and then chapter 1, chapter 2, like that starts. So it is a structured way of displaying the knowledge or the information through the book. Same way, your program also is a structured way with which you are going to write the program. So you have to follow this. That is, you should have hash include stdio.h. Then depending on the requirement, you may have more than one header files. Then you have got a void main function, the main function, and within the pair of braces, you will be writing all the instructions. Now, this instruction, a single instruction which you have got in your C program, that is called a statement, and each statement has to end with the semicolon. Like if some student comes up, a new student comes up in a nursery, then what the teacher says that when you are entering, you have to ask the permission, okay, that you can sit on particular bench, okay, and once you sit, then you have to keep the bag in a particular location, then you open up the book, your paper, pen, or whatever it is, yeah. So these instructions are given, very meticulously one after the other when a student comes in a kindergarten. Similarly, you have to give those instructions in C program to the computer so that CPU would perform it in the way in which you want. Okay, mind you, what the way you want, you have to give the instruction like that. And as you give the instruction, in the same way, the program would perform the actions. Yeah? So like that, you have got a specified way. So here you have got a specified way, hash include, then void main, and then the statements. You may have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, like that, n number of statements. Depending on what statements you want to give, those statements will be there in the C program. So your C program would have basically, these are the comments, but it will be something like this. You will have the comments, okay? It can be multiple line comments. You can have void main. You may have here the statements, okay? So your program would look like this. You may have comment, hash include stdio.h, void main, the statements, and finish off. Aniket Doble, any query? Aniket, please mute off your mic. Okay, fine.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes? So I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so now we'll proceed further to the program. The first program which we'll write in C, that is nothing but to display a message. Okay, so now displaying the message on your default output device. Okay, how it is written? It is written in the way that is you have got one function. Okay, there is a one function called as printf function, and I will explain the syntax of that. So printf functions, it is not only print and it is not print and f with a space. Printf is written together, okay, and within the pair of parentheses and within the two double quotes, whatever text you want to write, okay. So whatever text you want to write, which you want to display on your video, that you will be writing through this particular way in which the printf function has to be there. Okay, so printf, and in your parentheses within the two double quotes, you are writing the text. Now this text, it can be something like I want to say hello students or good morning students. Yeah? So I will be writing good morning students. And finishing off. So if I want to have a simplest program, which is nothing but to display something on your VDU, that is visual display unit. So in that case, you are going to use printf function and whatever text is there. There is one more variation to how the printf statement is being used that I will be covering in maybe the later part of this class. But Currently, you have to just understand that if you have to display anything, then you are going to write in these two double quotes with printf statement in this particular syntax only. Yeah. Now, suppose instead of this good morning students, suppose you want to write your particular name, roll number, section, and something like that. Then you can use those details being written over here. Now, one variation to this is that suppose you want to write some text in a systematic way. That is, you want to write something in a from a new line, or you want to specify some tag when you are displaying. Then you have to include some escape sequences, and using those particular escape sequences, you can perform that particular action of having the thing having the thing. That is how to display it. Okay. So what all escape sequences are there, that I will just explain. Just a minute, students. Today is 15th. Okay. So there are various sequences. So now how to write this particular program? It is very simple. That is, here I'll just write when my program is there, that you open up your editor. You have got on your Google search in your PC. What you can do, you can Google search Turbo C. Okay. Turbo C compiler. Okay. Or else, if you want to perform something, you don't want to download and execute or install it, you can also perform in your Internet Explorers or Chrome's other window. In that, you have another thing that is called as GDB Online Compiler. So if you give this search of GDB Online Compiler, then it will open up one window and you can have the C program in that. And then there you can write the program and execute it. So this is one online environment which is there, which is available to you. So you can use online environments, like suppose if you don't have a PC or laptop and you want to perform it through the mobile, then in that case you can go to online GDB compiler, search for it, open it and write your program there, execute it. You will get to know how you can perform. Okay. Some ways what you can do is you can open up one particular notepad or editor in your mobile itself. Okay, write the program there, copy it, then open your GDB online compiler, paste your program there, and run. So this will be one easier way for those who are only having mobile. Those who don't have laptop or PC, they can work in that particular way. Okay, so this way you can perform the compiling. You can perform the compiling action of the C program in online environment. If you have got PC, better you download this Turbo C and perform the program over there. Okay, so I will show both the versions of it as to how it is performed. Today I will be showing it on GDB Online Compiler, and you can have a look through that. Okay. So how the program is written, I will just write. So you have to follow the structure. That is, you may or may not write the comment, but I am writing over here. This is the first program. First C program. To print a message on video, that is visual display unit. Fine. So you have finished off over here. This you may or may not have. It is optional, but you always have to have. The next point what you is required is you have to have hash include stdio.h. Okay. So once you have this you have to remember hash include stdio.h, void main, a pair of parentheses, and then now in the pair of this braces you are going to write the instruction. We have only one instruction. What is that instruction? We want to display something to your video, and that you can do through the printf statement. Okay, printf function, and this printf function is also defined in stdio.h. So that is why it is must that you should have this stdio.h over there. So how do you perform that? You can do printf. Okay, yeah, I was talking about some escape sequences. So if you want to perform that writing, that is, you want to write from the new line, then there is one escape sequence. Okay, first let me say, simply you want to write some good morning message. Okay, then you are writing this message, finishing the quotes, parenthesis, and semicolon. So this is one instruction which you have in your C program. Okay. So like this you will write. In case you want to have, like when you are executing something on Turbo C, you will notice that wherever you are executing from there itself, it will start writing whatever is your thing you have displayed. Now, in case if you want to start it from the new line, then there is one escape sequence called as \n. Okay, this will give one enter. Okay, it is something like enter, or it is like starting something from the new line. So it is a new line being fed from wherever you are giving your particular message. So before your message, if you write \n, it will print something from the new line. Okay, like in case of GDB online compiler, it is by default printing something from a new line, so you won't understand that difference. But when you work on the Turbo C, you will obviously notice it. Okay, so this \n, so this is called as an escape sequence. Yeah, this escape sequence is nothing but \n is for the new line. Similarly, if you want to provide a tab, then you will give the tab. This is to provide a tab, like you are providing a tab on your keyboard. Same way, like you are printing some sort of report, then you are putting some text from a tab. So if you want to include some sort such type of tab, then you will be writing it in this particular way. Okay. So this is the first program which you can write in the C. Okay. So this is about it. So always make it a point that you end your program with a semicolon. If you miss out something, then in that case, what will happen? It will your compiler will give an error because it does not know that where your instruction is ending. Okay. So that is why it will give you an error. So now let us see that now this program you will be writing in an editor, and you will have one particular compiler. Like you may have a GCC compiler. If you download Turbo C, you will have a Turbo C compiler. So that Turbo C compiler or any compiler which you are taking, it will take up this particular program. It will read each and every word from line to line. Now, as it encounters this / and asterisk, means it will know that yes, some comment has started. So it will keep on writing till it does not get this end. It will say that there is the comment has not ended. Suppose you missed out writing this, then in that case it will give you an error that yes, the comment has not ended, or it will consider the complete text as a comment. Okay. So you have to follow the syntax, or you have to follow the grammar of C in order that the compiler understands how this thing has to be performed. Okay. So you are giving comment, then #include, and this all sequence you will be performing. And once it gets each and every instruction and it is ended with semicolon, means it will get assured that yes, your instruction is ending over here. Okay. So any query here till now, students, please you can ask. At the same time, I will search. I will give a search to the online GDB compiler and show you the execution of the first program. You can unmute and say, or else you can also write in the comment section if you have some particular query. Students, are you able to see the new tab? Okay. Yes or no, please
Yes,
confirm.
ma'am.
quickly. Yeah, okay. So now here, yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Now here what you will get, you will give online GDB compiler. Okay. So you give this search in a Google search, it will give you the screen like this. And when you want to run the C program, yeah, C compiler, so you will click on this. If you wanted to have C++, Python or anything else, Java, then you can give like that. Here I will just click on C++, sorry, C. Okay. Now I will delete this particular program. Yeah, and I will, because by default that program is there. So as I said, you can have a single line comment like this. So you can write like this. So program to print the message on video. Okay. So this can be a statement like this, or if it's a multi-line statement, you can write that also. Let me stick to the single line comment, or let me make, okay. From new line, I'm writing, this is the program for 5B students. Okay. Year 2021, 22. Okay. So here my message is like this particular comment is finishing. So I'm giving this particular statement like this. Okay. So, okay. Now, as I said, you have to have the void main function. Okay. As soon as you finish and give the enter, basically automatically it is giving you the finishing braces. But in turbo say it will not give. So you have to be cautious that whenever you start off, you have to at the same time provide the finishing braces. Okay. Then your printf statement is there. Okay, printf function. I'm starting this particular function. I'm starting the and ending the double quotes. Yeah, and your instruction has to end. So I am just writing good morning, dear students. Okay. Now this is the simplest program which I have written. Okay, there is only one statement and nothing else over here. So I have written this. I finished it. Now if I want to run this, then at the top I have got this particular run. Okay, this play sign is there. So when I give this run in the green background, it will run the program. And in this section, it will give the output. So here you have got the output here written as it is. Okay. Before this, some warning is there. Implicit function declaration. Actually, I have not included stdio.h. Okay. It is by default adding up. Hash include. Okay. This was one thing which I missed out. It is giving that particular. Okay. So here it is giving the output, good morning, dear students. Okay. So you can see the output like this. Now suppose not from here, but I had to give some two, three different enters. Okay. Suppose I give three enters. Okay. So here then you will see the output automatically. See here it has written 1, 2, and 3. Three enters are there, and then it is giving you the message, good morning, dear students. And here you can see how it works out. Okay. Similarly, I had also explained you about backslash t. So if I give, say, one single backslash t and run, so you can see that now it is not only from new line. Earlier it was from new line, so it was starting from this particular point. Okay. But now since I have provided a tab, it is giving me the output over here. Now the same thing, suppose if I had to give it from, let me see, this is my complete output window. And I want to have this message right in the center over here. So in that case, I will have to see that my output has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 11 enters are there. Okay. And say there are three tabs. So if I give such type of things, so here now instead of 3, I will give 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me say 9 new lines I'm providing. Okay. And how many tabs? Suppose I'm giving \t with 4 tabs. Okay. Now you can see how it runs. Okay. So now you can see that comparatively it is there at a different location. If you give say 2 more enters, then maybe it will give you exactly the output in the center of the screen of this particular output device. So accordingly, now this is a simple program where you have only given the message. Suppose like this, if you want to give the message to the user that welcome to this particular program, then you are doing some calculations of the mechanical elements. So prior to that, you want to just welcome and say that this is a program to perform so and so. So you can give the message in this way, and then you can clear screen, and then you can give the prompt that now be ready to input all the values, maybe diameter, thickness, or whatever is the value. You can ask that to the user, and you can start giving. Okay. So I hope this is clear to your students. Any query till now, please ask the queries. You can unmute or you can write in the chat box and tell me. कोई डाउट है तो डाउट जल्दी से पूछ लीजिएगा.
मैम एक बार फिर से प्रोग्रामिंग करके दिखा सकते हो क्या?
हाँ जरूर.
यस थैंक यू मैम.
कहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली डाउट आया?
मैम एक बार फिर से प्रोग्रामिंग करके दिखा तो समझ जाएगा सब.
हाँ जरूर. तो ये तो आपको समझ में आया ना कि आपको ऑनलाइन जेडबी कंपाइलर कैसे ओपन करना है, गूगल सर्च करना.
यस मैम ये समझ आ गया.
वो समझ में आया ना. हाँ, तो वो जैसे आप सही कंपाइलर क्लिक करोगे तो आपकी ये वाली स्क्रीन आ जाएगी. ओके. फिर जैसे हमने बताया दैट यू हैव द मल्टी लाइन स्टेटमेंट ना, मल्टी लाइन कमेंट स्टेटमेंट. तो वो मल्टी लाइन कमेंट स्टेटमेंट स्टार्ट्स विद दिस फॉरवर्ड एंड स्लैश एंड एस्ट्रिक. ओके. देन व्हाटएवर टेक्स्ट, आपको जो टेक्स्ट लिखना है, चाहे वो 10 लाइन का हो, 10 पेजेस का हो, कुछ भी हो, compiler will not do anything. It will just ignore it. It will simply ignore it. Why? Because this is not an executable statement. It is just for the programmer or for some other programmer to see that. Okay. तो ये पॉइंट आपको ये वाला क्लियर हुआ? ये कमेंट का क्लियर हुआ?
यस मैम.
हाँ. अगर मैं ये
ऑप्शनल ना,
ये अगर मैंने मिस किया होता कमेंट, ओके, तो क्या हुआ? यू कैन सी नाउ द फॉन्ट. आपको फॉन्ट दिखता है, देखो कैसे पूरा का पूरा कमेंट हो गया. अगर मैं यहाँ पे खत्म करती हूँ कमेंट, तो ये पूरा का पूरा कमेंट बन जाएगा. ओके. सो नाउ इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. सपोज आई वांट टू फिनिश अ कमेंट हियर, देन आई कैन गिव दैट कमेंट ओवर हियर. सो ऑटोमेटिकली ये बाकी का भी प्रोग्राम होता है. तो ये कमेंट का समझ में आया ना स्टूडेंट्स?
यस मैम.
हाँ. ओके. अभी नेक्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर में क्या आता है? नेक्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर में आपके प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्स आते हैं. ओके. तो ये जो हैश है, दैट इज नथिंग बट प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव. आपका प्रोसेस कहाँ से शुरू होता है? मेन से शुरू होता है. लेकिन उसके पहले क्या चाहिए? तो रूल्स चाहिए ना. तो रूल्स की डेफिनेशन कहाँ है? ये हेडर फाइल्स में है. तो एज सुन एज द कंपाइलर गेट्स दिस हैश, ओके, जैसे ही उसको हैश मिलता है, अभी ये क्लियरली दिख रहा है ना स्टूडेंट्स?
यस मैम.
हाँ सॉरी ना, मैंने पहले नहीं सोचा. ओके. तो आपने इस तरह से ये कमेंट्स दे दिए. कमेंट यहाँ शुरू हुआ, यहाँ खत्म हुआ. ओके. फिर जैसे ही कंपाइलर को नेक्स्ट लाइन मिला हैश. ओके. तो हैश जैसे मिला उसको समझ में आया क्या है? तो ये प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव है. इसको प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव मतलब वो डायरेक्शन देता है. इसको भी मैं कमेंट कर देती हूँ. दिस इज जस्ट फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन, मैंने वहां लिखा है. तो हैश इज व्हाट? हैश इज प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव. तो वो क्या बोलेगा? वो कंपाइलर को बोलेगा कि यहाँ पे हमको कुछ तो भी डेफिनेशन है, कुछ तो भी हेडर फाइल्स है, उसको कुछ तो भी करना है. मतलब हमारा मेन जो शुरू होता है उसके पहले क्या करना है? तो क्या करना है? इंक्लूड करना है. ओके. कहीं और बार आपको ऐसे भी पता चलेगा कि हैश के बाद डिफाइन है, तो वो प्री प्रोसेसिंग में कुछ डिफिनेशन करते हैं, तो उस वक्त आता है. तो यहाँ पे क्या है? इंक्लूड करना है. क्या इंक्लूड करना है? तो ये वाली हेडर फाइल, कौन सी हेडर फाइल है? तो ये stdio.h। ओके, सो जैसे ही कंपाइलर को हैश और इंक्लूड मिला तो उसको समझ में आया कि उसको ये वाली हेडर फाइल से कुछ ना कुछ डेफिनेशन आने वाली है इस प्रोग्राम में, जिसको इंक्लूड करना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर ये इंक्लूड नहीं किया तो वो आइदर वो सही तरह से एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा, नहीं तो फिर वो एग्जीक्यूट ही नहीं करेगा, वो एरर देगा। ओके, तो this is basically giving the idea that it has to include this particular header file। जैसे हमने वो, आपको पहले दिन का याद होगा, हमने a मतलब 1, b मतलब 2 दिया है, तो वो वाला प्लान जो है वो इस हेडर फाइल के लिए में है। कौन सा वाला? तो ये printf की डेफिनेशन, तो printf की डेफिनेशन ये stdr.h में। ओके, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी आर इंक्लूडिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर हेडर फाइल। ओके, तो ये प्री प्रोसेसिंग डायरेक्टिव का कंसेप्ट आपको समझ में आया स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, अब मुझे एक दो ही आंसर नहीं, अगर कुछ बाकी के स्टूडेंट्स होना नहीं चाहिए। हाँ, यू हैव टू गिव द रिप्लाई कि हाँ या नहीं। एक जन बताता है ठीक है अनम्यूट करके, बाकी को भी है ना मैसेज लिखना है, हाँ, कमेंट्स में। then I will get to know, otherwise I will feel all others are sleeping। if others are sleeping, there is no point अगर हमें डायरेक्टली प्रिंटेड मैसेज सेंटर में लगाना हो विदाउट यूजिंग टी टू मेनी टाइम्स। अच्छा, तो यू हैव व्हाट सम डायरेक्टिव्स, लेकिन नहीं, दिस इज द वे आउट टू हैव इट। ओके, पूरा सेंटर में वो वैसा नहीं है, वो फिर ग्राफिक्स में है। ओके, वो ग्राफिक्स में है, तो ग्राफिक्स अभी हम लोग ये सेमेस्टर में नहीं कवर करें, लेकिन अगर आपको कहीं प्रोजेक्ट में कुछ करना हो आगे नेक्स्ट ईयर में, फाइनल ईयर में, then you can ask me about it, or as such you will be having CAD/CAM subject, so in that also you will be studying that, but otherwise in this way you will have to include this \n and \t, and वो करके ही आपको प्रिंट देना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, क्लियर है अनिकेत? क्लियर या नहीं? मुझे मुझे आवाज नहीं। ओके, अनिकेत को क्लियर हुआ या नहीं, वो भी मुझे जानना था। तो आप कर सकते हो, लेकिन वो कैसा होगा, उसके लिए
यस
ग्राफिक्स,
मैम।
हाँ, ग्राफिक्स वाला यूज करना पड़ता है। ठीक है, तो वो ग्राफिक्स वो टोटली पूरी अलग एरिया है। ठीक है, ठीक है, तो यू हैव गॉट इट। सो नाउ यू हैव इंक्लूडेड दिस प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव हेडर फाइल। फिर हमेशा जैसा स्ट्रक्चर में बताया है कि आपको मेन फंक्शन से स्टार्ट करना है। ठीक है, अभी कई बार आपको यहाँ पे इंट मेन भी आता है या कुछ भी नहीं होता है, तो नाउ यू डोंट सी इनटू दैट डिटेल्स आई विल take later on when I'm taking functions। Okay, so right now you just have to write void main। Okay, void means nothing। void जब बोलते हैं मतलब nothing means this function is returning nothing, that is what is the meaning। but you just have to remember that you have to write the main function from where your execution always starts for the C program। Okay, तो ये आपका मेन शुरू हुआ है, आपको parenthesis, और उसके बाद में आपके within the opening and closing braces you have to write all the instructions। तो यहाँ पे आपका सिर्फ एक ही इंस्ट्रक्शन है, क्या है? printf इंस्ट्रक्शन है, और यहाँ पे मैंने वो इंस्ट्रक्शन सेंटर ऑफ द आउटपुट स्क्रीन में डालना है, इसलिए आई एम गिविंग दैट मेनी \keys, and with that it is performing the action। Okay, so one thing to remember is that printf, it has to open with this opening parentheses and quotes, and it has to have then the message within this, okay, whatever message you are writing, and then it has to finish off with this finishing thing। Okay, similarly now suppose if I want to have some alert, अगर alert देना है, big sound अगर आपको सुनना है, तो in that case you may give \a। so what happens if you give this, if you give that, then it will give you a big sound when you are running it। Okay, I don't know whether it is आपको सुनाई दिया? मुझे सुनाई दिया है, लेकिन आई डोंट नो, इट इज गोइंग, द वॉल्यूम इज गोइंग टू माय earphone, so maybe you may not be able to see this, but you can work on it uh, on your GDB compiler and you can see. Okay. So this is how the simplest, the first program is there. That is good morning, dear students. And this is the way how I have displayed it. Okay. तो यहाँ पे कुछ डाउट है
हेलो मैम।
स्टूडेंट्स, तो आप पूछो। हाँ बोलो।
मैम एंटर प्रेस करने के बाद वो बोल रहा है कमांड लाइन आर्गुमेंट, मैम वो क्या है?
एंटर लाइन कौन सी वाले?
मैम एंटर प्रेस करने के बाद मैम उसमें बोला है ना प्रेस एंटर। मैम प्रोग्राम रन करने के बाद उसमें नीचे में लिखा है ना प्रेस एंटर टू एग्जिस्ट कंसोल।
एग्जिट द कंसोल मतलब टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस, मतलब अभी प्रोग्राम, लेकिन यहाँ पे हमने कुछ वो नहीं किया है, इनपुट आउटपुट नहीं लिया है, इसलिए सपोज आई गिव एंटर, सो इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली गोइंग नाउ टू दिस। अच्छा एक मिनट, मैं आपको अभी कर्सर कहाँ दिख रहा है? ये ऊपर वाले स्क्रीन में ना?
यस मैम।
हाँ, अभी हम रन
हाँ यस।
करेंगे, तो अभी अभी यहाँ पे है कर्सर, कहाँ पे मेरा माउस दिख रहा है? हाँ, ये फ्लिकर हो रहा है, तो
यस मैम
यहाँ से
कंसोल।
वो यहाँ पे अगर जाना है तो आई नाउ आई एम प्रेसिंग एंटर, एंटर दिया तो देखो इट हैज कम ओवर हियर, ठीक है?
यस
तो दैट इज व्हाट इज द मीनिंग, नहीं तो आप क्लिक करके भी जा सकते हैं वहां पे, ठीक है? वही वही उसका मतलब है, तो इट इज एग्जिटिंग फ्रॉम दिस आउटपुट। देखो वो आउटपुट वाला जो स्क्रीन है वो ऑटोमेटिकली बंद भी हो गया, हमने एंटर दिया तो, ठीक है?
ओके मैम यस।
हाँ, बस वही है,
यस
नहीं तो आप क्लिक करके भी जा सकते हो, आप कहीं, ठीक है, क्लिक करके भी जा सकते हो, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो द वे ऑफ परफॉर्मिंग। So I hope this is clear to you. So one homework to you is that you will be displaying what all things. So you will be displaying your name. Okay. क्या क्या डिस्प्ले करना है आपको? आपका नेम, रोल नंबर, okay, just a minute, sorry. Okay, I will open. Okay, this is clear. Then I will stop sharing, and I will switch on my. ठीक है, बाकी स्टूडेंट्स किसी को कुछ डाउट है? Why do we use void main? Void main is used why? Because always your program is starting with the main function, okay? And void, like you know, each function, मतलब अगर कोई फंक्शन है तो वो फंक्शन कुछ काम करता है और वो काम करके कुछ रिटर्न करता है, ओके? अभी हमने यहाँ पे कुछ रिटर्न नहीं दिया है, इसलिए उसको void दिया है। अगर हम कुछ स्पेसिफाई नहीं करते, void भी नहीं लिखते, कुछ भी नहीं लिखते, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो इंटीजर रिटर्न करता है। सो इफ दैट इज द केस, आई विल एक्सप्लेन दैट आल्सो। आपको स्क्रीन दिख रही है ना ऑनलाइन जीडीबी कंपाइलर का?
यस मैम।
यस मैम।
तो मैं सपोज यहाँ कुछ नहीं लिखती या फिर इंटीजर लिख रही हूँ, तो in that case this function has to return something before it finishes off, okay? So in that case I will have to return, I have to have this statement return. Now what exactly it does, you know, sometimes there are some functions which are happening in conjunction with the main. So depending on what value, sometimes you may give 0, you may give -1, -2, -10, depending on what your operating system has to take the next tags, okay? तो आपका जो बड़ा सॉफ्टवेयर है जैसे ऑटोकैड बताओ, तो ऑटोकैड कैसे सी में डिजाइन किया हुआ है, तो बहुत सारे फंक्शंस इन कंजंक्शन वर्क करते हैं, तो उस वक्त डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट इज द एक्शन, व्हाट व्हिच हैज टू बी टेकन, अकॉर्डिंग यू आर गिविंग -1 और 0 और 1 और 2 और जो भी है, ये कुछ एरर्स आपको देने हैं, तो वो नंबर आप दे सकते हो, so according to that some action is taken, so in that time you are writing int, okay? So दिस इज व्हाट, तो ये मेन के पहले मतलब हर फंक्शन का कुछ नेम होता है, तो यहाँ जो है नेम नेम है, एंड दिस इज इन स्मॉलर केस ओनली, इट कैन नॉट बी कैपिटल केस, एंड व्हाटएवर इज रिटर्न बिफोर द नेम मींस इट इज रिटर्निंग समथिंग। तो हमने अगर इंट नेम लिखा तो आपको ये रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट इट्स कंपल्सरी, ओके? तो इट इज कंपल्सरी कि हाँ ये हमको लिखना ही है. So now when you run this, it will do the same function. Okay, finish, and it will give. इसमें कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं पड़ा. लेकिन जब हमारे बहुत सारे पैचेस ऑफ फंक्शंस होते हैं, एक फंक्शन कहीं कोई न्यूयॉर्क में बनाता है, कहीं न्यूजर्सी में बनाता है, कोई कैलिफोर्निया में बनाता है, कोई पुणे में, कोई बैंगलोर, ये सब मिला के पूरा एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनता है. तो अब रिटर्न फंक्शन रिटर्न की वैल्यू का कुछ तो भी डिफरेंस पड़ता है. यहाँ पे अगर मैंने कुछ नहीं लिखा, तो इन दैट केस बाय डिफॉल्ट, मतलब जब कुछ नहीं लिखा तो क्या देना है, तब आपको इंटीजर ही रिटर्न करना है. अगर आप सपोज आई पुट कमेंट, ओके, एंड आई रन, तो फिर वो कुछ तो वार्निंग देगा. वो क्या वार्निंग दिया है, उसने कुछ तो वार्निंग दिया है. ये मेन में इट विल बेसिकली से कि यहाँ पे रिटर्न लिख दिया है. नाउ इफ आई गिव this, then it will actually, it has to execute. Okay, this GDB compiler is not taking like that. You have to have the int. Maybe you may give float, you may give char, or whatever you want to return. So here now, since I have given the return statement and I have given GDB online compiler is not accepting the thing that is, अगर हमने कुछ स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया तो वो एक वार्निंग या एरर देता है, but it is executed. So it all varies from compiler to compiler also. But if you are working this on turbo compiler, तो यहाँ कुछ नहीं दिया, so by default it is taking as input. लेकिन जब ये कुछ दिया है तो आपको वो वैल्यूज आपको रिटर्न देगी. That is must. So I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we'll proceed further to our next point, which is there. It is very simple, and now I proceed to the next point. That is, our task is not simply printing something to the default output device.
हेलो
But we
मैम.
want to take, yes.
मैम आपका ऑडियो क्लियर नहीं है मैम.
Hello. Is it audible now? Is it audible now? अभी audible है?
मैम क्लियर नहीं है, ऑडियो वाले पर क्लियर नहीं है मैम.